Welcome back to part 4 of our lesson on roof-mounted system considerations. In this part, we are going to do an example of how to size our lag bolt length, both the minimum embedment and total length. So first we need to know some design parameters to size this lag bolt. These assumptions that we're going to make for this system is that as a flush mounted array, we are designing for zone 3, so that's the corners. Basically, we're designing our uplift force for the worst case scenario of this array. Obviously, most of the array is not going to be in zone 3, it'll be in zones 2 and 1 also, but we're going to design for the worst case here. We're going to have 12 modules in 2 rows of 6 in portrait orientation with a total of 16 attachment points for our racking system. Each module is approximately 18 square feet with a total array footprint of around 216 square feet. The uplift force in zone 3 for our location is 28 pounds per square foot. And we already said we have 16 mounting feet, and they are going to be lag bolted into Douglas fir rafters. We have an asphalt shingle roof. And this is the table that we're going to use from the NDS to determine the pull-out strength of our lag screw, and we'll see this table in another slide and look at it a little more closely then. Now, let's do the calculation. It's relatively simple. First, we need to figure out how much uplift force is on each module. We know we have 28 pounds of uplift force per square foot, and we have an 18 square foot module, so we multiply the two to get 504 pounds total uplift force per module. So how much uplift force is on the entire array? We know 504 pounds per module. We have 12 modules. Multiply the two, get a total of 6,048 pounds of uplift force on the entire array. Now we need to figure out how much uplift force is on each mounting point or each attachment for our racking. We know our total array uplift force is 6,048 pounds. We know we have 16 mounting points, and we need to divide the two, and we get 378 pounds per attachment point. Now, just a little basic math here, and something that we need to remember. When we're multiplying things, it doesn't matter which order we put them in, it will get the same result. But when we're dividing, we need to make sure that we divide in the proper order. We're looking for pounds per mounting point. So pounds needs to go first in the formula, and the mounting points, the number of mounting points, needs to go second, pounds per mounting point. So if we did it the other way around, we would get a wrong calculation because it matters which number is first in a division formula. So 6,048 pounds divided by our 16 mounting points gives us 378 pounds per attachment point. Of course, all these numbers are going to vary based on the wind load of our location, the number of attachment points, the size of our module, the whole rail racking system and how it all works together. So your calculation may vary. This is just one example on one common system that we see when mounting a flush mounted system. What is our allowable withdrawal load? We know that we have 378 pounds of uplift force on each attachment point. We are using Douglas fir rafters, or the building has Douglas fir rafters. There would be a stamp on the side of the rafter that indicates Douglas fir. Now, in my experience looking at rafters, almost all the rafters and trusses I see are marked SPF, spruce, pine, fir, which is just a generic stamp that they put on any wood that comes out of the mill. What we have to do in that case is use the lowest structural strength wood in the table because we don't know exactly what type of wood it is. In this example, we're going to use a 5/16 diameter lag bolt, which is extremely common. That's a lag bolt that's typically used with many of our racking manufacturers. The racking manufacturer may specify the exact diameter of the lag bolt to go with their mounting bracket, so make sure to RTFM, read the free manual, see what the manufacturer requires for the diameter of the lag bolt. Here's that table again from the NDS. In this case, we're going to look down at the diameter of our bolt, 5/16, and then look across to Douglas fir and find out that the allowable withdrawal load, which is in pounds per inch of threaded lag bolt, is 274 pounds. So again, that is per inch of the threaded portion of the bolt, not the total portion that includes a shank if it has one. So that's only the threaded portion. So how do we choose our lag bolt length? How much thread has to go into that wood rafter or truss? We take our total withdrawal force of 378 pounds per mounting foot, divide by the strength per inch of thread embedded into a Douglas fir framing member with a 5/16 lag screw, which was 274 pounds per inch. Just divide the two and we get 1.38 inches. And again, since this is division, we have to be very careful that we put the numbers in the proper order or we'll get the result wrong. So we need a minimum threaded length of 1.3 inches. That's the minimum embedded length of the lag bolt. Now we need to also consider the thickness of all that other stuff on the roof, and this includes the things like the washer, the mounting bracket itself, the asphalt shingles in this case, the roof membrane, which would be the underlayment below the asphalt shingles and above the sheathing, and then the sheathing itself. In this case, all those things added together comes up to 1.15 inches. So the required minimum length of these lag bolts are simply these two numbers added together, 1.38 minimum embedment length and 1.15 for the non-structural thickness of all that other stuff, to give us a minimum length of 2.53 inches. Of course, we can't round things down because this is a minimum, so we have to round up to 3 inches, which is the next commonly available lag bolt size. And when specifying this 3-inch lag bolt, we need to look at it very closely and make sure that the threaded portion of the lag bolt is at least 1.38 inches. And with a 3-inch lag bolt, the chances are that probably 2 or more inches of that lag bolt are going to be threaded, so we should have no problem with a 3-inch lag bolt. Now, something that's common for installers when they're doing these calculations, let's say that a 3 or 3.5 inch lag bolt is the most common size that you use that's going to cover 99% of the installations, or maybe 100% of the installations in your area. Maybe sometimes you could use a 3-inch lag bolt, but sometimes you have to use a 3.5 inch lag bolt. It might just be easier to just buy a gross of 3.5 inch lag bolts. They usually come in a box of 1,000 lags. Buy the 3.5 inch one, then you don't have to worry about, oh, do I need the 3-inch one or do I need the 3.5 inch one for this job? Reduces installer error, reduces the number of parts you have to stock, and you might be able to get a bulk discount because you're buying more of one type. That's what I would recommend if you are doing these calculations and find that one size can meet most or all of your needs for lag bolt length. So that is how we calculate lag bolts. Again, this calculation may vary depending on your specific situation, so make sure that you're familiar with the requirements for your area and the requirements for your racking manufacturer. In the next part, we are going to talk about ballast mounted arrays on low sloped roofs, so join me for that part when you're ready. Thank you.